Hello everyone, my name is Anastasia, I live in China and this is my channel about cross stitch. I have so many things to share today. I have so many cross stitch and some things to talk about and a couple of announcements to make. So I'm pretty sure this episode is going to be a little longer. So get your beverages hot and cold, stay comfy in your place with your stitching and be ready to spend some time with me. In this episode, Cross Stitch with Anastasia, I'm gonna show you two fully finished objects, which one of them I framed and another of them is just fully finished. And I will show you two more finishes, not fully finished, but just finished cross stitch. I will show you a ton of whips and new starts. We also will have some giveaway and a couple of announcements. And I have a tiny little bit of haul, which I'm pretty sure you would love. So let's start, and I would like to start with my best new thing. My best new thing today are my earrings, and they are so cute. I don't really know how well you can see, but they are wooden blue earrings with golden carvings of some floral designs. I got them from an African woman who is currently living in Beijing, and I believe that she made them herself because she was selling a lot of like handmade looking earrings and like jewelry. So, and they were like super cheap. So I can't just say no. And I love something like wooden and handmade. I can never pass on that. So of course I got them. So these are my best new thing, and to wear them I even got a little fancy today because you know, you can't just put on earrings like that on a t-shirt. Just my mood today is splendid. So let's make announcement number one today. Just a couple of days ago, it occurred to me that I'm making YouTube for 6 months right now, and it's kind of a milestone for me. Like, I'm already doing this thing for 6 months. Yeah, I don't have so many videos as other stitchers for like 6 months, but I'm still very dedicated to continue and I'm loving this. So I was thinking of how to express my joy and say thank you to all of you, because I think there are people who started watching me from the very beginning and who are still with me, and I really appreciate all the lovely comments you write to me, and I met some amazing people, and we just kept talking in comments and Instagram and stuff like that. So starting at Flosstube was a really great decision for me. So I was thinking like probably I should make like some special episode or like express something, but I recently watched Andrea Cautionary Tales, and if you haven't seen her, just go and watch her. She's amazing. She has a great taste in fabrics for her projects. Like I love all of them. So, and she was doing a giveaway for postcards, and that is such a great idea because I love post crossing and just sending postcards to my family and friends. And it's kind of expensive to send goods from China to other countries, but like postcards are cheap, and like last year I sent 20 of them, I think. So I'm really loving getting postcards and sending them, and it just inspired me to make my own postcard giveaway. So I will be sending out 3 postcards. In order to take part in the giveaway, you should be a subscriber, you should be over 18 or have a legal permission from your parents or guardian to receive the postcards, or give me your address, and you will have to answer the question, but I will give the question later. So stay tuned and you will have to watch some just a little longer to know the question, but I promise you it will not be at the very end of the video, it will be somewhere in the middle. Yes. So if you are interested to receive a postcard from me, and I just got some of the postcards I have at the moment. So I have some postcards with a little faceless dude from a Japanese cartoon, Spirited Away, which I love. But yeah, postcards from China with a Japanese dude, why not? And of course I would include some writing in Chinese and translation for it, of course, but it is so in my mind It is so exotic to get a postcards from another country with the writing from in another language. Like my friends, he received a postcard from another province in China, and like half of the postcard was in English, but half of the postcard was in Chinese, and that was amazing. Like, I felt so overwhelmed by this fact. So I'm just looking for people same as me, and I think there are many of us together who just love postcards and can exchange this love. So this is the announcement number 1. I'm making my first giveaway. Hooray! Okay. Announcement number 2 is that I'm going to make a tag again with my friend like I did before, but it would be maybe another friend or N2, but I'm planning to make an Stitchy expat tag. So I'm looking for good questions for this tag. So if you have any suggestions for the questions that I can cover in the tag about China and about my travels or about general life abroad, like, just leave them in the comments below. I have some questions already asked because like last video in the very end I asked this question, and I don't think lots of people watch my videos to the very end, so it was my fault. So that's why I'm asking it again. But so I already have some of the questions asked, and because the expat tag isn't gonna be next week, maybe it's still in the process, so I wanted to cover these questions anyway. I think just answering these big questions in the comments wouldn't be enough, so from my last video I haven't answered any comments. I like them all and I read them all, but I just haven't answered them, so I wanted to cover them in this video, which I will be doing after I will show my cross stitch. So no worries, you will not be sitting out like 10-15 minutes of questions right now. No, let's go into stitching. And the first thing I would like to show you are my fully finishes. So I have 2, and one is pretty simple, which is, I think you already saw this like 200 times on this channel, which was not fully finished, and every time I told you I will fully finish it. So here it is now, and it's a fall wreath by Fruzilok. It's a Ukrainian company, and they are making their products on a wooden base. So you cross stitch on a piece of wood, and then they give you the pre-cut piece of felt. I glued it on using the see-through like transparent glue, which is really good for cross stitch. Then they give you this piece of rope, which wasn't enough for me because I think I did 2 long pieces here. So actually this piece is totally new. I had it from work, like we have this piece is at work, so I just get one little. But anyway, it looks amazing. Now it is hanging. Now it is hanging on my wall and just bring me so much joy. It's very colorful and it's really fall because there are sunflowers, and right now every time I go to work I have to pass a field of sunflowers. Maybe I will make a picture one day when I'm not being late for work and just running there, because I'm that person. I'm never late, but I'm always getting to places in the last possible second. So also it has a beetle, which is actually cross stitch in craning over the DMC thread, so it's very sparkly and nice, but you can't really see it on a video because I know the problems with the videos is that the cranings and just sparkles are not really showing well. So it is finally fully finished and done. Hooray! I will just put it here maybe. Yay! For the time being. Oh, and my second fully finish, which I showed you last time that I was going to do it, so no surprise in that part, but I ordered a frame. It's a ready-made wooden piece of frame, and here is what it is. I'm just loving how it looks. Like, this is a pattern, Plague Nurse by Night Spirit Studio. I'm just loving how it looks like. Do you see it? First of all, I have to say this gives me apocalyptic vibes because it's a Plague Nurse. It's 2020, which is apocalypse. And putting it in a black frame with some depth inside, gives me the feeling of a coffin. And this is where I want to see 2020 already. Because I'm not gonna rattle about how many difficulties it's given me on the last months, but this is the perfect framing in my mind. So if you don't agree, it's fine. Everyone has their own tastes, but for me, it's so perfect. And I left it glassless because when I put on the glass, it kind of blinked a little bit, and the shades of gray, they disappeared. So you couldn't actually see a lot of stitching because it's in grays and whites. Yeah, lots of gray. So that's why I decided to keep it without any glass, and I know it will get a little dusty in time, but I can always use like a sticky roll to roll it or something. Like, I don't see a big problem with my cross stitch being without frames or just like standing on my sofa all the time, because in Beijing we don't have dusty winds, or we don't have that much natural dust anyway. So probably all my cross stitch will stay the same way. I will probably keep it on my desk to see it every day and just to remind myself how strong we all are to just overcome this year. I don't want to say more because, you know, it just gives us more and more and more bad things this year. It's never ending. But I'm pretty sure it's coming to that end, finally. So I will be putting it here. Yay! So I fully finished 2 objects in the last 3 weeks. Usually I'm tending to make videos every 2 weeks, but last weekend I caught a bad cold. So yeah, it was the worst possible for me because I got a sore throat and I couldn't talk like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I couldn't talk a lot. Like, I couldn't talk at all. I couldn't say sounds. It was really hoarse. I was whispering all the time. So I thought making a Flosstube video and just whispering to you wouldn't be that good. So I had to wait till I get well again. But I will try to do a better job. I will try to do a better job and film every 2 weeks, whatever date will be. So let's go to finishes, because I've also finished 2 pieces, which gave me right to start something new, and I will show you new stories later. So first of all is a little boar in a scarf, which I think is actual name is Put on a Scarf and Be Happy by Makaronka Stitch. I'm very sorry I'm not putting in many pictures or doing a lot of editing this time, because I just really want to get this video out there. So as I believe last time you've seen it, the board didn't have any back stitch, and some of the half stitch on the bottom wasn't finished. So I actually finished all the back stitch and the half stitch, so now it's done. I can't say I'm 100% happy about this piece, just because on its face, I'm still not sure I'm loving it. These blotches of color, like dark blue and light blue, I thought it would be better shading considering like how many blends they are. I mean, usually the designer, Vika Jukaeva, she makes a wonderful job. Like, I already staged several pieces by her, bigger and smaller ones. Like, probably this time it's just a problem with my floss, because I'm using CXC, it's Chinese equivalent for DMC, and sometimes the floss can be brighter than the DMC. So I'm thinking that probably my dark blue is too dark, but I can be wrong. I mean, I know Laura is also stitching the little boar. So Laura, if you're watching it, please tell me, like, is your boar also getting this blotchy with blues and yellows, or is it gonna be okay? Because I'm not 100% happy, but I'm 90% happy. And it's a Gryffindor boar because it's wearing the red and orange and yellow scarf, and it's so happy. I mean, yeah, it was a piece of happiness. I used this hand-dyed linen. I think it's linen, which I had in my stash, like just this scrap of piece. and it fit perfectly. And I'm thinking of finishing it in just a cute pillow, maybe adding at the bottom Merry Christmas or something like that, and just finishing into a pillow. So it would be a nice winter piece. I love it. And purples and blues are, I think it's my favorite colors to have around me. I don't like to stitch on the light blue fabric, but I certainly like blue around me. Like, yeah, totally. Lots of blue in my life, and purples too. So I finished it. Yay! I really need like something like a bell or whatever, because I'm doing a lot of finishes and just like celebrating it every time is a must. Okay. Today drinking grapefruit soda. Stay hydrated, people. I think grapefruit is my favorite taste for sodas. It's not that sweet, but it's not as sour as lemon or something like that. I prefer my sodas not very sweet. So that's the first finish. Another finish is Be Well. It was Be Well pattern crystal or something from a Wild Violet cross stitch, and it's tiny. Like, let's see. Yeah, it's super tiny. I think it's like 36 count, 2/1. So it's super tiny, and I love how it looks because it's amazing. So I changed a little bit on this pattern, and what I did is that I modified the flowers a little bit, because when I was stitching, and I will show it to you on a pattern. I'm pretty sure it's a freebie, so it's not a big deal if I show a piece of pattern, okay? So on the pattern, the base of the flower should be a little brown, and there should be yellows in the flower. So the flower itself would be like just a triangle, not a flower. And on such a little piece, when I started filling in those flowers, they totally lost the shape of the flower. Like, it wasn't visible that this is a flower. Just like blobs. So I just left out the insides empty, and the brown side I just filled in with the same color of the flower. And if you are looking at the screen, you notice that I did the flowers in 2 different colors. I had light pink and dark pink. That's because I couldn't decide which color I would like more. Like, I started stitching it in light pink. I did 1 flower, and then I was like, maybe it's too light. I'm not sure how well it goes with the moon and the whole like dusted view of the pattern, because I used pretty dark green. I just wanted it to look more old style or something like that. Not that bright as I always do. I know it's bright enough, but not as I always do, because I haven't followed the color key. I was just picking colors of my stash, so just used whatever scraps of colors I had left from old kits or whatever is left. And then I picked out this purple color and stitched one flower in the purple. And I still wasn't super happy. Like, at that moment, I was like, it looks really good with purple, but it looks really good with pink too. Which one should I choose? So I was like, I will stitch 1 more flower in each, and I will see which side I like more. And I liked both of them. So that's why I had 2 colors in like dark pink or purplish color, and 2 colors in light pink. And I'm loving it. And I have some plans how to FFO it too. So I don't know which FFO I will be doing in October, but I will be doing something next 2 weeks, definitely. So this piece I want to FFO in a herbal sack for herbs or tea, just like that. And like this. So it will look better than I showed you right now. So I have this little sack. It originally came with a herbal tea. It was white with a little like paper sticker here, which I ripped off, so it has some glue on, but never mind that. Then I tea dyed it in 3 different teas, because I always forget that if I dye tea in like whatever tea I have, and mostly it's green, it will not give it brown color, it will give it yellow color. And I wasn't happy how the purple looked on yellow. I wanted something more brown. So 3 times it got turned brown. I will be putting my Be Well here to cover the glue and something in the back. I don't know what, but I will see. Filling it in with herbs or smelly things or whatever, and it will be sitting on my desk and it will look very nice. I mean, I will add some trim or something. So I just need to get to it. I think today I'm touching my face a lot. I don't know why. Like, I just keep talking and I just notice in my head, oh, I'm touching my face again. I'm touching my face again. I'm touching my face again. Why? What's wrong with me? I mean, my hands are very clean. I clean them like several times a day when I'm still in an apartment, like even if I'm not living. When I'm living, every time I'm cleaning my hands wherever I get somewhere. At my work, I work in a kindergarten. We clean like hands with kids. We wash hands like every 40 minutes, every hour. So yeah, I'm pretty sure even if I touch my face extensively while I'm sitting here, it will not give me anything, but it still doesn't look good, right? So these were my finishes. Now I will show you one start. Ta-da! It was avocado. I believe the name of designer is Екатерина Полуэктова. This pattern was in my stash for quite a while now. I think it's over a year or something. I won a giveaway from this designer and she asked me like which pattern would I like, and when I saw avocados, I love them. So here would be another avocado, and here is another avocado, just like the back of it, and there will be some backstitch here and here. Backstitched avocados too. But the main middle, I think I mostly finished it except for like some filling in the nut, in the what? How do you call the middle of the avocado? So this will be probably a project bag or whatever. As you can see, I'm using it to carry my floss, which is I'm using at the moment. It's a blend, so 2 floss, and it looks really nice. It will be amazing, but I will never recommend anyone to do same thing as me, because just stitching it, oh, it kills me. It's a pain in the ass, literally. Because you have to, like, when you stitch it, yeah, whatever. So when you stitch it, you have to hold it like this way and stitch it. And after some time, your hand just gets really cramped and tired of holding all of it. I'm like, oh. So plus the stitch count is very small. I think it's even less than 30 stitch count, because I have 32 over there, and yesterday I just like looked at these stitches and then 32 count. It's not that smaller, but a little. But still, like just looking at the pattern and how it looks right now, ooh, loving it. So I will have an avocado pouch. The insides are okay. I mean, I'm not doing a perfect bag. Let me show you. So this is the inside. So it's kind of okay. I'm not going for the perfect one. I'm still carrying the threads and everything. And I'm thinking about covering the like inside with another small fiber pouch or something. So like you won't be able to see the backside of the stitches first, and secondly that whatever I choose to put inside wouldn't scrape my stitches from the inside a lot. I mean, yeah, like it would scrape them on the outside, but it's inevitable when you're making your stitches into an object or a project bag or whatever. I think it's inevitable that your stitches get touched and everything, and I'm very comfortable with it, and I need to say I love touching my stitches. So like when I finish in clothing or anything, I'm like, oh, so good. Yeah, it's one of the pleasures of life. So this was my new start, but I have another one which I will be showing you later. But now let's get to my whips, because I had 3 weeks of stitching I managed to pretty much a lot of progress on my other whips too. So first of all, after stitching on avocado and stitching on some other stuff, Be Well, the stitches were so tiny that I was a little tired of it. I was like, oh, I need something bigger. I need something more relaxing, because lately the life been hectic too, and I was a little stressed because of my visa situation and everything. So I needed something very relaxing, and the simplest project in my pile of whips is the Winter Ship by Heritage Stitchcraft. It's based on John Clayton artwork. It has a lot of circles in his art. Like, yeah, words are difficult. In my head, I always talk a lot. I mean, I talk a lot to people. I have a lot of things to say, but when I start making a video, it just seems like I lose my train of thought. I lose a lot. That's why sometimes I'm making a video, I'm just sitting there like, what I was gonna say next. So if you see any cutouts, probably it's like bad moments in my head. So when I picked it up this time, I finished 2 rows of stitches. 20 cross stitches, like 2 rows. How do you say them? Like on a pattern, 2 rows of squares, whatever. So I just finished all this part. So it wasn't that exciting because it was mostly like gray and beige color. But I'm pretty sure I'm finishing with this dull sky, and this part is nice tree, which I already started here and here, and some more purple and some more house. So the last part will be more exciting to finish, but it's still a very big piece, so I'm not sure when I'll be doing it. Maybe I will spend some time in November or December just to finish it and have it done this year. Like, I'm pretty sure I want to finish it this year, but just not in October maybe. Because October is Halloween stitching, right? Like, who is doing Christmas in October? I don't know. I don't know anyone who's doing Christmas in October. Is that a thing? So I put some projects in it, maybe a couple thousand stitches, so I'm loving it. I also filled in some browns in the houses, so from afar it looks amazing. It looks just like the picture. But when you're stitching it, it's just a mash of all these grays and the beige and the purples, and it's not that exciting. Like, it's not that exciting when I don't get like the finished some object in the stitching or a little piece of design or anything after a while. So that's why I picked it up. I spent a couple of days on it, and then I was like, it's kind of boring. So I needed something else. So I picked up my Storytime sampler from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, and I finished a frame. And the frame I did was Mary Poppins. So now I have, what, 7 frames, and I have 5 left. And I will be doing one in October too, because I'm just like mixing my plans for October with whips. But I will be doing this red frame here, because it's a spooky and scary frame. Because as a kid, I read a lot of horror books. I think they kind of formed my personality and the things I like. So this Mary Poppins, I will show it a little closer. So I'm proud to present you Mary Poppins, which I charted all by myself from the scratch. So what do I have here? It's a Mary Poppins who is flying away in the night. There is wind, I believe like eastern wind, western wind, and she has her umbrella with which is I think this part I saw on someone's stitch, but like the Mary Poppins and her open umbrella, the moon, and the houses underneath her are my creation. And of course understand that it's no way it's good or professional, so feel free to criticize. But I'm loving it. And I didn't want to make the sky behind Mary Poppins dark, like it's night, so it should be like dark blue or black. No, because it's a fairy tale, so I made it purple. So Mary Poppins just finished educating children. They are nice and lovely again. They are reuniting their mom and dad, and now it's time for her to go. So she opened her umbrella and is flying away. That's like the message behind the design. And so I finished the frame and I'm pretty happy about it. And after that, I got a cold, and so I didn't want to get anything difficult to stitch again, like continue avocados or anything. I just wanted something easy again, but not so boring. So I picked up the Summertime by Miroshka. Oh, I have a picture of them. So this is what it's gonna be. It's a Ukrainian company. They are making kits with these whiteboard fabrics. I think some kits are on Aida, some kits are on linen, and which mine was on 16 count brown Aida. I didn't like it. Like, I loved the picture here, but I don't think I wanted to stitch on brown. So what I did is I just rummaged my stash and I found this hand-dyed blue, sky blue fabric, which I don't like stitching on blue, but this looks real good. And for the last almost a week, I've been consistently stitching. I don't think I stitched anything on Thursday or Sunday, but for maybe 5-6 days I was stitching this design, and I finished all the red color. So what will be left are the green seed pods here. So basically I need to stitch 3 seed pods, and I need to stitch the stems and the little bud. I'm not gonna stitch the summertime word, and I'm not stitching the half stitch, because here, if you can see, the half stitch is quite natural on the brown. It gives us the depth like in the glass, but if I do the half stitch on the blue, you can actually like see the blue behind the half stitch, and I think it's not what I want. So I will be leaving out the half stitch, and only after finishing I finished all the red, and I believe I finished all the yellow. So there is no red and yellow, only purple, grays, and greens to stitch. And I love stitching greens, so it would be nice. I noticed that there are not 2 poppies, but there are 3 poppies on the picture. So there are 2 of these, and there is a poppy here, which is like closed and behind, so we can't really see it, but it's there. There are 3 poppies on this picture. Never noticed it before, like never. And I bought this kit like a year and a half ago at least. It's amazing how much detail or things you notice when you actually like cross stitch, because sometimes when you like the outlook, you generally just like the look or the colors, but when you stitch it and you notice like all these little details, or like I really didn't know that there were ladybugs here, which are 3 of them. I mean, I shouldn't have noticed maybe 1, but there are like 1, 2, and 3 of them. And after I like did these blotches of red here, and here, I was like, why are they there? What's that? Because I'm using a Saga cross stitch. I'm stitching from my phone, so I just highlight the red color and just stitch it all over. And I highlight like yellow color and stitch it all over. So that's why I know I finished all reds and yellows, because there are no more stitches in red and yellow left. And I'm loving it. So what I'm gonna do with this piece, because it's very close to finishing. I think it's only like 2,000 stitches left, including back stitch, which is very easy here. I think I will try to push it till the beginning of October, like till the 1st. I have today, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I think I will be pushing this project as much as I can, because it's so close. I want it done, and I want it framed and on my wall. Like this piece, I will definitely frame and put on my wall. It's really good. It deserves it. I still didn't wash out the blush, so I don't know when I will do it. So that's were my whips, and now I bit of haul to show you. It's not big because in China, I don't really order anything from abroad. I will have to pay for shipping basically as much as for the goods themselves. So that's why I never order from abroad, but inside China, you don't have a big selection of international cross-stitch things. Usually Chinese prefer just to cross-stitch on Ada, on a big count, on printed fabric. You have tons of things like that. But if I want to buy some Russian patterns or Russian designers or like European ones, it takes a long time. Like I ordered some Mill Hill and they said it will probably come end of October, November. I'm like, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and see. So now you know that I'm awaiting some Mill Hill, but I never tried. That's why I wanted to try. And just going through the cross stitch, I stumbled upon several shops. And the first thing I bought, were two Russian kids. I'm so in love. First of all is again Fruzilog, which is the same company as my wreath, and they have just this little sunflower. So if you want, we will open it. Which, if you don't want, we're still opening. So this is what's inside. They include the little postcards, pre-cut felt, the base, which is like really nice. Smells good. I heard that when they just started, there was a problem that inside the holes there was still wooden dust. So when you pulled your floss through the holes, it would occasionally like get dirtier. And for example, if you use like light colors like white, yellows, and everything, they would lose their color. They would be dirtied. I haven't had this problem with the wreath, but they say never mind. Like maybe it could be that you will stumble upon like old selection or something. So just blow it and clean it, and like you can't wash it. But I mean, I can just use the dry toothbrush and just go through it and see if they have some dust. Just to make sure, you know, because the sunflower is made of bright colors. So they have the pattern, which if you can copy from it, I admire you. They have a color key, which is almost 15 colors for a little sunflower. And the pattern is colored and backstitch on top. The lovely colors. Just see that's good. Oh, I love it. Like this greens and yellows and oranges. Ooh, so good. And what else I'm loving about it is that they always include their own needles. So they include 2 beading needle and 1 cross stitch needle. They include the beads, which are tiny. Like I never saw some beads like that. And they also include the spool with a thread for the beads. Amazing. Just everything, basically everything you need. Because I know some Russian cross stitch companies, they will include everything except for the needle. And like basically you will buy a kit, you will go on vacation, or especially the small ones. You will go on vacation, you will open, there is no needle. And you can't cross stitch it. And I know that was a thing, like a real thing, and a lot of complaints. So this company, they include everything, and I'm loving it. Basically, like I can just take this kit with me. And we will have a little adventure in October, because from the 1st to the 8th of October in China, it's national holidays. At first, it's like a day of China, and then there will be like 6 or 7 days of Mooncake Festival, Mid-Autumn Festival. So this year they combined them together, so we have 8 days. And me and my friend, we are going to Inner Mongolia. It's like the fields before the Mongolia. It's part of China, and it's called Inner Mongolia, and like that would be amazing. We would be like sleeping in a yurt, riding horses and camels. I'm excited for that. So. And of course I will be taking some stitching with me, so that sunflower is a big probably because it's good, and I can always stitch it like, we're going by train, so I can always stitch it in a train. It's easy to carry, and why not, right? Another thing I bought is I already stitched apple cider by this company. This is Divnaya Vishnya. I believe it's a Russian company from Moscow. It translates like amazing cherry. That's why they have like a cherry with a needle here. So I already finished the apple cider, and this time I got beers. I would take another one, but I believe they only had like a couple of the selection of the kits the Chinese seller had wasn't good. I mean, I think they bought like all these kits before the lockdown, and they still haven't renewed their stock. So apart from like all the selection they had, the available ones were like 2 or 3. So it's kind of difficult to right now to order anything except like also the Mill Hills, like the ones I chose, like I wanted to buy so many different ones. I could choose only like from 2 or 3. So I bought some beer, which I like drinking beer, why not? And this one is also provides with a frame, but it's not wooden. It's like piece paper, carton. So it's thick. They provide with magnet. Here is a magnet. So it's gonna be a magnet for my fridge again. They also give the floss, but the felt here is not pre-cut. So they just give a piece of felt, which I will have to cut myself. Needle also, which is nice. No beads, nothing like that. So this is very cute. But their pattern is just black and white, which I don't like. I mean, for a little piece like that, yeah, I can stitch it, but I really don't like black and white patterns. I'm too spoiled. I always want colorful ones, and I would really appreciate if they have a download pack in my phone so I can just stitch on my phone. Or they have a backstitch one separately, so it's like 2 patterns here. But still. So that was one part of my haul, and why I even started like browsing Taobao and looking for some kits and everything is that I wanted to sort the baby boards from Gera, and I didn't have a right fabric. So I was browsing some, I wanted some even weave or linen, and I didn't have white in my stash. Like I'm out of white, so I couldn't dye anything, and everything I had is not the color I wanted. Like I wanted almost the exact color on the pictures. Like I wanted the exact color, but the almost exact color would also suffice. So I was looking for the fabrics, and Taobao is full of Ada, like all kinds of different Ada, all kinds of colors. But I don't want to stitch on Ada. Like I love Ada, but not for a small project like that. And I could use some Zweigart linen. I could find some Zweigart linen, but only like basic colors, or white, light blue, light pink, like raw linen color, something like that. I wanted some even width, so I was looking, and never finding anything until I stumbled upon. Give me a second. It was Cosmo linen. No, Cosmo even width. So these are the colors that I bought. Actually, like I was going for the white, then I saw this color, which is on the picture it was dark gray. This is more brown to me. I mean, it's still a little gray, but I think it's more brown. And I got find this color, and I was like, oh, that's like almost the color I need for the boards. I mean, it's like amazing, almost the same color. So I'm taking it, and if it's not good, I will dye my white one. But when I received it, I mean, it was stated as Cosmo even width. They never said what count it was. So when I got it, and I'm like, what count is that? I think it's like 38 or 40 count. Because when I googled anything about Cosmo, it appears it's not cross-stitch fabric, it's embroidery fabric, which makes sense. I mean, for embroidery, it doesn't matter which count you do. You just like put your needle anywhere. So it's really, really small. And I was like, okay, I will just try out and see. Maybe I will not like do the cross over 2, but like over 3, because it's even width. You can do like cross over 3, 4, 5, as long as like you count the same number of threads up and like the right is the same. And I didn't like it 2 over 2, 2 over 3. So then I was like, if it's 2 over 3, it's too bulky and I don't like it. Maybe I will do with 1 strand, and with 1 strand I can do 1 over 2, which is so tiny. So I frogged out and started the baby boars. I believe this is like the first boar. I have it printed. It's not a pattern, so you can see. It's just a picture. And I believe I finished this leaf and started with half of this boar. So it is so cute. And my stitches, just look at them. Just look how good they are. They are so even. They are so tiny. They are so good. Really, like if all my stitches would look this way every time I stitch, I would never stitch on Zweigart anymore. I would always choose Cosmo. But I need some, what? Blends. But I need to make some blends, so I can't use this fabric all the time because I'm using 1 strand over 2 on this fabric, and it looks amazing. And it actually like really reminds me of how it's looking on this, because I don't know how well you can see here, because here it's also same color. I printed it for the color key, so it's same color. It's a little different from the fabric, and here it's also like you can still see it. It blends in a little bit, but you can still see it, and it looks so cute. And the baby boar, like it's half. It was 1 length of string, 1 length of thread. It's cute. I'm loving it. Loving, 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 loving. Really. I could just look at it forever and never. So, and with these, I also just bought myself some Makuba ribbon. I believe it's embroidery ribbon. It's really cute. I mean, it's okay. It have this from purple to pink. So I don't know, I could use it maybe when I will be FFOing my bee whale or the little boar. I mean, it's cute. Why not? And it's not silky, I think, but it gets a very, very silky feeling. Maybe it's silk. I don't know. But it was Japanese ribbon. I just wanted to try. Like, the fabric wasn't expensive. The fabric was like almost the same as like Zweigart or something. But the ribbon was kind of expensive, so I just wanted to see like what's so different. It's nice, not very different. I always got myself some Olympus linen. It's also a Japanese company, and it's very small. Like it's probably the same small count as the Eva leaf I bought from Cosmo. So Cosmo and Olympus are good for embroidery. Maybe I will save it for embroidery, or maybe I will save it for dyeing and like sewing something from it. I'm not sure I can stitch on it. Like I will try to stitch on even with, but linen, like really so tiny, I will be just killing my eyes. And before I go to my plans for October month, I want to ask the question: if you've been this almost an hour with me, you deserve it. Like every one of you deserve a postcard. So the question which you need to answer in order to participate in the giveaway of a postcard from China is: what is the strangest thing you ever eaten? Like something exotic, or something you really didn't like, or something you loved but it wasn't what you usually eat, or like homemade food by your friends, or you went somewhere out, or you traveled and eat it during your travel. So what is the strangest, interesting, most exotic thing you've ever eaten? Because lots of my travel is concentrate on food, because I love eating. I love trying new things. And so I would like to know, what is your strangest thing? So let's go into my October plans very fast, and then we will do the Q&A on the questions about China. As I said before, I will be finishing the summertime. I will try as hard as I can. But the month of October, I will be focusing on all the Halloween and scary stuff I have, which is not much. I have a couple of Halloween designs in my stash, which I want to start, and I will be allowing myself a new start only if I will manage to finish something. So what I can finish is my Halloween Girl by Anna Klautova. She was a start for Representation Matters Cell and Diversity and Inclusion Cell, which people, Black Lives Matter. All lives matter, but Black Lives Matter. So don't forget about it. Just because like lots of Flosstubers don't say it anymore, it's not that we change our minds. And this gorgeous lady, I think I can focus on it and finish her in a week or two. But unfortunately, it's not the only piece I want to stitch, so I'm not sure how much progress I can make on her. But I will be trying my hard, because in my stash, I have another gorgeous lady. It's a Halloween Witch by Miroshka, and I really want to start her. Like, she is so good. She has a hat and a pumpkin, and she's just amazing. Another Halloween stitch I have on the go right now are my Halloween cats by Nadezhda Aleynik. This is a sampler of different cats, and I have finished already 3 from this series, and this is number 4, and I have number 5 on the go. So, like, it's not finished. This is a Dracula Vampire Cat. I need to stitch his clothing, the bottle with the red blood, and his eyes, and FFO. And I have this series of cats and another series of cats by Maria Brovko, which I already stitched like last year, but I still didn't FFO because I want these 2 series of cats together in a garland, in a Halloween garland. So I really need to finish them. And probably it will be happening this month, like in October, not September. Because today is September 26th. So I still have some days of September and October. October is a Halloween. So I'm also planning to finish a frame from Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. I'm planning on starting a dragon because my friend asked me to stitch a dragon for him on a jacket. And I'm planning to make a tag. I'm planning to do some more videos, so lots and lots of plans. I'm not sure which I will be doing in exactly the next 2 weeks, but I think life will show, right? So let's go to Q&A. And if you are interested in life in China, you should stay tuned if you just came here for stitching. So thank you for visiting and see you next time. So I was asked several good questions about China and my travels, so I would like to answer them in this video. So in Niche to Stitch, she asked me why I decided to move to another country and if I'm planning ever to return to Russia. So the situation, economical situation in Russia right now is not very favorable, and especially in small cities, which my hometown is a relatively small city, and after I graduated, I couldn't find any decent job. Like all the teaching positions, they wouldn't give me as a newly graduate. I couldn't get a good salary, and I mean, good salary for me will allow me to rent an apartment and maybe like save to buy a car, or save eventually after the years to buy a house or like my apartment of my own. But the thing is, the salary of a newly graduated teacher in Russia was so small that even living in my mom's apartment, so not paying for it, and eating like her food, so not paying for it, I still had bare minimum of wages like on my life to spend. So that's why I was looking for any way, because my major is a teacher of English and the French, so I was looking on any way I can actually work as a teacher, but at the same time get a decent amount of money so I can support myself and not like leech on my mom and stuff like that. So that's why I first found the job in Thailand as a teacher, and I moved there with my friends. Like we all went together, and it was a right decision to just go there at first, because I think if I would move to China first, I wouldn't like it so much here as before. But after living in Thailand for almost 2 years, I would say. I love China. First of all, Thai children are not interested in learning anything. You are basically there to entertain them. And after some time, it gets into you, like, you are not a clown, you're a teacher. Why do you behave like that? So it just gives me more a feeling of accomplishment when children are actually here to listen to me, to be with me, to spend their time with me, and to learn, not just like to watch some movies and go home and not even do their homework ever. So yeah, very different approach to education from Thailand and China. Secondly, in Thailand, it was so hot. It's like summer, 365 days a year, and it's like the weather in Thailand is like hot, medium hot, super hot, how hot, way hot, like, and that's it. No normal weather. So coming to live in China and having 4 seasons really saved me. Like in Thailand, I didn't even want to do anything. Like after work, I would just come home, spend the evening, just kill the evening with like friends and beers and go to bed. Here, I'm still very energetic and my brain works better. Like I want to start the things. Like coming to China, I picked up cross stitch again. So basically, I'm cross stitching 3.5 years, 3 years right now. Like actively cross stitching, like learning about it and improving and trying new things. So only 3 years of cross stitch, but 3.5 I would say. But still, it gives me more energy to do anything. Like after work here, I want to go out, I want to meet my friends, I want to come home and cross stitch, I want to learn things, I want to study, I want to read books, like things like that. In Thailand, you don't have energy, you don't have mental energy. The power of sound is just melting you. Like on a vacation, when you go to the beach, you're not really productive on the beach. But if you live on the beach like 365, yeah, that was too much for me. If I'm planning to return to Russia, it's out of question for me right now, because as I said, the reason why I moved out of Russia is the same reason why I can't come back, because there will be no work for me still, even with my 7 years of experience of working as a teacher, and because I started working as a teacher even before I graduated. It just won't give me any decent salary or job position, so I cannot support myself, and even in the future, if I want to have a family, I will not be able to financially support it. And it's a big problem for teachers generally in Russia, so it's not just my point of view. But thank you for the question. Then the ladies from Count Twice Teach Once say why I moved to China and how many different places I lived. I think I already answered why I moved to China. Like after the Thailand, I was tired of hot heat, and I was tired of this, just of Thailand in general, of the food and the spiciness and the Thai people a little bit. So I was looking through the list of all the Asian countries where I can find a job, and one of my co-workers at that moment, she was a Filipino woman. She actually told me that her friends are living right now in China and they are loving it there. So I started to look for jobs in China, and actually like I found a whole market of jobs with very good salaries. That's why I chose to live here, and it was a very right decision for me. What countries else I lived? I can't say I lived much in other countries. I visited a lot. Like except from Russia, I've been in 8 other countries. When I was a student, I've been twice to United States. I lived in Maine and in Arizona, respectively, like 2 times, and visited other major cities. I've been to Laos, Vietnam. Visa runs to Laos, 1 month in Vietnam. I've been several times in South Korea, just a little visit to Sri Lanka, and a week in Hungary, a little more than a week, which I really loved. Like, not much of a travel, a lot of Asian countries because they're near and the plane tickets were cheap. So, but I'm definitely planning to visit more countries in the future, and traveling is my passion, so yeah, I really want it. Then Heather Miller wanted to know where I want to travel next. Like, I have these big plans, but my first priority would be to go to Philippines, because I have some Filipino friends, and I like listening to their stories and just learning about the country, I know it's very beautiful, and I really would love to visit there. Plus, did you know that Philippines is like 5,000 or 6,000 islands, and on every island people speak their own language, which is insane. And they don't understand each other. The languages are so different, they don't understand each other. So they had to all learn English as a second language to be able to communicate between the islands in one country, in Philippines. So that's why their English language is way better than in any other Asian country, because like they learn it just to talk to their neighbors. That's crazy. So I would like to go there. A little while ago, I wanted to visit Canada a lot. I'm not sure about like if it's still in my priority list, but it's still really in my wish list. I want to go to India because it's a country of fabric dyeing, and I would love to try their food and just basically like rummage through the markets to get some fabrics and like floss. So India is a country of dyers, and it would be a dream come true for me. But I also want to visit some European places, so if it will be like summer vacation with my friends, I think we would choose something in Europe better than other countries, because I'm not sure they all have the same interests as me. So Sylvia W asked, what is the education system in Russia and in China? And she described the education system in America, and I could say like almost the same, but till like we have kindergarten and primary school, middle school, high school, and after that you are either choosing college or university, which college is like a level lower for us than university. Like they don't give you the same level of education there, but it's more technically oriented. I think the main difference was, like, not right now, but it was that in university we studied 5 years. Because like I studied to be a teacher 5 years, and my diploma was not like a master's degree or bachelor's degree, it was specialist degree. So in Russia we had the specialist degree, which I just got my diploma re-evaluated in Canada, and like Canadians would name my diploma as a master's degree. So it's 5 years, but it's a higher level than bachelor's degree. And but I think right now they are already abolishing this system, because it was kind of difficult to have this diploma and go to different countries and get a job there, because it's always a question like, what's your diploma? Is it bachelor's or master's? And the answer is like neither. Like it's specialist, and everyone's like, what kind of that? She also asked about my siblings, and I have a little sister. She's 19 right now. She is studying to be a journalist in my hometown. She's also currently working, and she's an artist. I mean, she is very good at drawing and painting. Like, I would die to have a skill like her. Also, she's very beautiful. I would put a picture here. She's very beautiful, and I always say my mom tried harder on her than on me. Because first of all, that hair. Like now she wears her hair short, but before she had those huge curls of wave hair. I'm just loving it. If I could like have the same, I would totally like. That's my dream come true. And my thin hair, why I carry it so short? Because if I wear it longer, it will look like spaghetti. So that's why, like, looking at her hair, it's amazing. She's also taller, and her boobs are bigger. Yeah, that my main point of envy. So, but I really love her. She is super smart. Her interests lie in a different. Her interests are very different from me. Like, she's not into learning languages and traveling. Like, that was the only thing I could ever think about, is that I want to travel. I want to see other things. I want to meet other people, countries, and like everything. I want to learn languages, but she wants to be a journalist, which she's very good at, and she's writing in some online magazines and journals, so or newspaper. Like, I read some of her articles, but not each and every one of them. And that's, I think, it. So if you have any other questions you would like to you would like me to answer, just leave them in the comments. And thank you for staying with me for such a long video. But I'm so happy to be back. I'm so happy to feel well and to show everything I've got. So see you next time, and bye bye.